Hi everybody, it's Mr. Layman. Are you feeling super tired today like me? Does it feel like everybody's jet lagged and maybe a little grouchy? Well, it's thanks to daylight saving time, a thing we don't need. I'm coming at you today on Monday, March 9th, 2026. Daylight saving time. Woo. It's the one where we spring forward, where you lose an hour of sleep, as does another 330 million some odd Americans. Oh boy, everyone having jet lag at the same time? Must be doing that for some kind of reason. Spoiler alert, we're not. Daylight saving time. Who did this? And why are we still doing it? Let's talk about it. I should not have actually done this on daylight saving time. I should have just lied, because there's a lot of takes of this. The sun does not have different kinds, the northern and the southern. I've seriously done 12 takes of this science part, but the short answer is, because reasons, the Earth gets an uneven amount of daylight depending on what time of year it is. For most of history, we didn't have indoor lighting, so if you were going to get any work done, you had to do it when the sun was out. By the 1800s and early 1900s, anyone connected with the British Empire and having access to a telegraph machine started to notice that, hey, certain parts of the Earth get more or less sunlight depending on what time of year it is, leading to inconsistencies in terms of things like long-range travel and trade. Since the British were the largest empire on Earth, their whole "the sun never sets on the British Empire," yes, quite literally, they decided to mark time based on the Greenwich Mean Time, which goes through Greenwich, England. Mostly this was to make sure that everything was kept on a schedule, because they'd already invented clocks, but they hadn't really invented time zones by this point. So this allowed working hours to be a little bit more regulated. Modern daylight saving time began as something called wartime during World War I. It was used as an energy and a fuel-saving initiative. It was started by the Germans, but adopted by the Allied powers, specifically England, France, Russia, and the United States. And we've just kind of kept the ball rolling with that ever since. I'd like to point out that this whole saves energy thing was not really something that we measured. We just kind of went with what the Germans told us, which was that it saves energy. Specifically, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany is the guy pushing for this. You might have remembered Kaiser Wilhelm as being the complete idiot who changed the entire trajectory of the 20th century, and the aftermath of that guy and his decisions to take a small regional conflict and explode it into the First World War is absolutely why we're at where we're at right now. So he is basically responsible for all of the problems over the last 100 years, and also daylight saving time. Kaiser Wilhelm is also the guy who thought it was a good idea to have Annie Oakley, a noted shootist and alcoholic, shoot a cigarette out of his mouth, which did make him look super cool, but then that also made it so that other people went, wow, that Kaiser Wilhelm is super cool. I'll bet he knows all kinds of stuff about energy. According to Germany, daylight saving time saved them 1% on their energy costs. Neat. They just said that, though. It wasn't something that they measured or quantified or anything. And everybody else just kind of went with it. Like, oh, okay, I guess. Sure, sounds great. They were losing the war at the time. Was this like a psyop? Did they, brainwash everyone into daylight saving time? I don't know. After World War I, the United States was producing 40% of the industrial output of the planet. And so we started a letter writing campaign to the government saying, hey, we should do this daylight saving time thing way more. And this is where you get this whole it helps the farmers stuff. It doesn't. But at the time, it was like, oh man, these farmers need a lot of help. Never mind these captains of industry and their unregulated laissez-faire capitalism. No. This is helping the farmers. Propaganda. The farmers, by the way, are one of the groups of people who need daylight saving time the least. They're just out during working hours, or they're not dictated by a clock. They're dictated by just the sun. Cows don't know what time it is. They just know it's dawn. Or literally a rooster is not looking at a clock to determine when to crow. It crows when the sun goes up. It doesn't matter what time it is the sun up or not? But at the time, and I guess still now, we heavily lean into, oh, the farmers. So I guess we've just sort of said that this is something that the farmers want. They don't. And it feels super important in the 1920s when 30% of Americans were engaged in agriculture. It's 2% now. So now 2% of people are benefiting from daylight saving time, a thing they don't want and don't rely on. and the other 98% of us are getting punished. And also the 2% of us who are farmers, who also do not like this either.
I will punish all of you!
Daylight saving time was assumed to save energy and fuel, so sure. And hey, we did it during World War I and we won World War I, right? So this became wartime. So anytime we were engaged in war, we were also looking to do daylight saving time to save on fuel and energy costs. Eventually, it was too annoying to just inconsistently have daylight saving time or not have daylight saving time, and we weren't really having it very well regulated as to when we even start doing daylight saving time or not, in terms of like what time of year do we do that. As cross-country travel became more popular, mostly because of airlines, daylight saving time needed to be standardized if we were going to do it at all. So the United States at one point made daylight saving time official in 1966, but this whole, it saves energy, like, we're not at war, why are we doing this, became popular during the 1970s when there was an oil crisis with a whole bunch of Middle East producing oil countries. So we were looking to, have daylight saving time back then. I will say this became incredibly unpopular under Richard Nixon, so we stopped mandating that all the states do daylight saving time. That's why some states don't bother. Hey, turn off the lights and go to bed, it saves energy. Probably, I guess. But it feels like it saves energy. I mean, I'm doing something as opposed to nothing, because we did not mandate that all the states do daylight saving time, and the Constitution says that the states do, in fact, have rights. Some states have only recently adopted daylight saving time, so now we can actually measure to see if it helps. Indiana in 2006, did it help? No! They adopted daylight saving time, and their energy usage went up by 1% rather than down, which kind of defeats the entire point of having daylight saving time. Now, yes, there are plenty of ways you can reduce your energy output. You could go around and unplug everything in your house. You could unplug the Wi-Fi when you go to bed. You could unplug the microwave when you go to bed. You could unplug the TV when you go to bed, but you're probably not going to do that. Sounds like a lot of work to save like 70 cents. To go along with feeling jet-lagged and groggy all day, there's also a whole bunch of other problems. Industrial accidents go up, so do heart attacks, so do car accidents, work-related injuries, and a whole bunch of people, like my entire first class of today, don't show up to, work or school or whatever. It's estimated that we lose about $5 billion a year in economic productivity by doing daylight saving time. Before I was self-employed, my employer would send out like an email and go, hey, just so you know, daylight saving time, make sure you mark your calendar. And it's like, yeah, I know what you want. You want me to make sure that I show up to work on time. Because like a whole bunch of people don't. Out of the 200 some odd countries on the planet, only 70 of them do daylight saving time. And popular opinion is it has like a 90% disapproval rating. It is highly unliked. But we started daylight saving time as part of a propaganda-ish letter writing campaign. So maybe we could end it in the same kind of way. Like, hey, this thing, nobody likes it. Can we just stop doing it? You're collecting less tax money, so feels like as a government you would want more economic productivity, not less. Right? And also all these people are getting injured and all these cars are crashing. That's bad. One of the reasons we haven't just thrown out this whole daylight saving time thing is because we haven't been able to decide, is the sun going to go down at like 8 o'clock at night or is it going to go down at like 6 o'clock at night? And as a people, we just need to vote on that, I guess, or figure it out. Let's get on that, because this silly thing of daylight saving time is harmful and unpopular and stupid and has never worked and was started by this guy who was also an idiot. So can we just not? I hope this was helpful. I'm going to get some coffee and then edit this because I'm sleepy because daylight saving time. Hi, it's future Mr. Layman, currently editing this. I did in fact get some coffee and a nap, and I also adjusted my microphone settings so it doesn't sound so terrible. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell and all that jazz. It helps me, and it helps me get you content a little bit easier. Also, I am continuing to do educational stuff in the Los Angeles area. You can hire me for history, science, Dungeons & Dragons. I'm doing private board game nights these days. all the stuff. My website links are below. Maybe I'll get a nap first before I edit this. I don't know. Either way, catch you around. Bye!